Dude, Captain America the First Avenger is a fucking classic. I don't care what anybody else says. What is going on, guys? It is your boy Luisknowstoons here. We are back with another video. We obviously talking some superheroes, and specifically we're going to be talking about the film Captain America the First Avenger. To me, it's one of the most classic, most basic, boots on the ground, just very simplistic, done at a very elite level, and I love it. But before we get into today's video, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, turn on those post notifications, because, like, why the fuck not? Come on, turn on them post notifications, join the Looniac gang. You already know what the fuck we doing. And obviously, follow me on my TikTok, follow me on my Instagram. It's going to be shown on screen right here. It's going to be down in the description down below if you're a link guy. So, definitely do that. Without further ado, let's just talk some Captain America the First Avenger. This film, it's just beautiful. It's a great, simplistic, basic masterpiece. Like, if somebody tells me, like, listen, like, I like superheroes, but I want some shit that I can easily follow. Like, I don't want the craziness. I don't want no pay attention, you know what I'm saying? I just want to put a movie on, and I just want to have some fun. That's what Captain America the First Avenger is. I like the origin story of Cap. It's one of the best origin stories Marvel ever created. I like the build-up of seeing Steve Rogers doing everything he can to try to get into the army or the military. I fucking love that. I thought that was fucking awesome. Seeing how hard he worked once he got to basic camp, how hard he was working, and even though he wasn't living up to any expectations or any standards or whatever, he still found a way to stood out. Like, when he jumped on top of that fucking grenade, that fake grenade, to protect everybody, like, that showed he has heart. The guy that they were looking at to try to create into a super soldier, he didn't have the heart. That's all the test was about. And Steve Rogers jumping on top of that fucking grenade really showed how much heart he had. And Chris Evans does a great job at portraying both versions of Steve Rogers. It doesn't matter if it's a scrawny Steve Rogers, or it doesn't matter if it's the fucking super soldier Steve Rogers. Fucking Chris Evans knows how to fucking portray him. And it's so cool seeing the way how they showed off his abilities little by little. You know, once he becomes a super soldier, just seeing the way he runs after that fucking robber in that yellow car, and he's just jumping on fucking cars from car to car to car to car to car, and it's just awesome seeing him in action at war. One thing I feel like people don't give enough credit is the villain of the story. I thought Red Skull was a nice villain. He didn't do too much, didn't do too little. They put him in the right spots, and he left his mark. Like, when they were fucking playing around with that cube of that cosmic power, whatever the fuck it was, like, Red Skull picked his spots, and he knew how to draw the most fucking heat possible. And it was so fucking cool. It was so fucking cool. Red Skull, and the way he revealed himself when he took the mask off, that shit was so good, man. Red Skull is one of those villains in the MCU. Didn't do too much to be elite, but obviously didn't do too little to be considered one of the worst villains. I thought Red Skull was a very nice addition, especially with the simplicity that they showed with Captain America the First Avenger. I thought it was very fucking awesome. I thought it was very cool adding Red Skull into that mix. What else can we talk about? The relationship with Peggy, the way it was built up, how Peggy was feeling Steve before he was a super soldier, how she saw the characteristics that he possessed, the way how he carried himself. Like, Peggy noticed all of that shit, and she was attracted to him, and it was really cool seeing that, you know, a guy like Steve Rogers, him being scrawny, being short, being incredibly underweight, really attracts somebody like Peggy. Peggy was a badass. Peggy was intelligent. Peggy was kind of like the backbone for this military team. Like, she was really putting in some serious work, and she was the first person to really see the characteristics and the qualities as a person and as a human being that Steve Rogers really was showing before he was ever considered to be a fucking super soldier. And she was feeling him, and then after he became a super soldier and all the shit going on, bro, it was just icing on the cake. But the way they portray their relationship, you know, asking her out to dance and stuff like that, and their interaction on the plane when Cap was trying to land the plane after he was dealing with Red Skull and all that shit. I really wish they found a way to expand on that relationship a lot more, but that was incredibly fucking beautiful. I thought they have a very, very well told relationship. Obviously, it didn't last long because, you know, Cap ended up being in a coma, but that shit was cool. What else can we fucking talk about? The ending, so good, so well directed. Having Steve in a room to try to replicate what the 1950s, and then having a ball game play on the radio, trying to make it seem like Steve is still in that fucking timeline. And Steve being a smart ass, figuring it out, like, yeah, no, what year are we in? Because I was at that ball game, and I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not there. I was there, and I could tell you we're in a completely different time. And for him to run out and to see the new timeline that he was in and the new era that he was in, yo, really, really, really great storytelling to conclude Captain America: The First Avenger. Not to mention the action, like the fight sequences was just dope. Like, there was this scene where they're inside this warehouse, and the bridge of the warehouse is just fucking collapsing, and it's just a really nice shot of seeing Red Skull. I thought that was cool, but the action was just cool. Nothing too crazy, easy to keep up with. It's your basic, like, boots on the ground fighting style. And Captain America: The First Avenger just did that. It just did the simplicity at an elite level, and it's just so good. But I personally love the movie. It's one of the best movies the MCU has ever written, because even if a movie's basic, it can still be fucking awesome. Like, as long as you do shit right, that's all that matters. But that's going to conclude today's video. If you guys like today's video, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, turn on them post notifications, obviously. Obviously, my information will be on screen for TikTok and Instagram at Luisknowstoons, and all the information will be down in the description down below, so definitely check that shit out. Without further ado, though, I love you guys, and I will obviously see you guys on the next video. Peace, stay safe.